Well, all right. I'll just work with that. But alrighty then. So, hello everybody.
Oh,
No, you weren't asleep
Oh,
on that. No, you weren't asleep on that. This is no dream. But yeah, for the most part, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 70 of Shoot the Breeze. Good God, we've come a long way. Episode 70 of Shoot the Breeze, a chill interview and chill time all around for you and me. I'm your host, HeavyDivider, and alongside me here today is, well, he is quite the funny man. As a matter of fact, if you get him to start laughing, chances are you're probably going to have yourself a hell of a time on hand, depending on what kind of game it is. So, but for overall sake or so, he's also a really good friend of mine, as well as somebody you basically have seen me play Borderlands a lot with, or any kind of multiplayer games together on Fridays. But for right now or so, I want you guys to be able to get a chance to know him as an individual on hand, that being ManikHyena, or Manic for short. Welcome on in.
Yeah, as long as you don't hear me screaming like a goddamn chimpanzee, it's all fine.
Yeah, it'll be A-okay.
For once.
Pretty much on hand, or get you into a laughing fit on hand. That's one of the things, or so. But yeah.
Let's be honest, it's not that hard to get me into a fit.
No, it isn't. It really isn't. Especially if it's like the simplest things possible for you, just to be able to laugh at. So, let's get down to business here with a first following question. How the hell did we meet?
That's actually a good question. How did we meet? I think we did meet each other like around like at VRC in 2019, I think, maybe. I think at the time we didn't really meet up all that much or talk all that much. It's just. But I think the first official one is like when I started playing Vermintide with you and everybody else.
Yeah, I think on hand for the most part, if I'm correct, you and I met actually through Arnie on hand. If I'm correct for the most part, because overall sake or so, it was like this fluctuation of different groups that we were hanging out with on hand here and there. But from it was where we were able to get a chance to meet and be able to know each other. Because that's how I met you, because you used to walk around like as a miniature, a Team Fortress 2 soldier on hand. And I remember... And I remember you had like a sound pad on hand where you were just able to just be able to like mess with like different sounds or so on hand out of it. Because you also do like voice impressions too, so there was that.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about my voice impersonations, but at least I'm actually trying something.
Yeah, you're trying something on hand, which is fine. It's perfectly A-okay with it, so.
And the funny thing is, most people, like, especially back in 2018, they would remember me as the guy who does the Patrick Star impersonations as the ugly ass Sport Patrick.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, either people loved it or they hated it.
No, I got you.
I just enjoyed doing it. It's like, I just go up to him and be like, "Where's the goddamn leak, ma'am?"
Good lord. Good lord on hand. I can just imagine it too. Just for you to be able to do that kind of craziness here and there. So...
If you're wondering where SpongeBob's at, he's behind the Krusty Krab being a goddamn hoe.
God. Oh, God. So, let me get to the second question I have on hand, that being the VR chat origins for you. What got you into VR chat, if I can ask, or so?
What got me into VR chat? Can't really say for sure, but, you know, like, I saw the Uganda Knuckles memes, because, you know, like, you know what? Be part of the degeneracy, because why the hell not?
No, I feel you.
But I can't, then again, I came around, but I think I came around the time when it just basically just kind of ended. But, it's like, you know, like, I did find, like, some amazingly good friends, you know, like, other than yourself, of course. Like, yeah, I came across, like, let's see... I'm trying to think of, like, I don't know if you ever remember that, like Puddle and Ray High or something.
Puddle,
Yeah, Puddle Pocket?
Puddle Pocket? No, I can't say for sure on hand.
Yeah, but yeah, like, it's like, if you're seeing this, I miss your goofy ass. But yeah, it's like, I was like, I used to be part of like a small group that did, I don't know how long it lasted, but they tolerated, you know, like my goofiness and of course my, you know, my blunt sense of humor.
I got you on hand. Hopefully for the most part, hopefully for the most part on hand, especially with that, you had like a really good time just for like in a sense of basically relating to one another. Because the thing is too with VR chat in general, even if you never met this person in your entire life, if you have like this weird chemistry on hand, you just immediately bounce off one another to where it's just kind of like, good God, why did we not grow up in this exact same neighborhood or something on hand? Because it feels like
exactly.
Mhm.
It's the same way with the Z2s, because like that's basically how I met my sparring partner, like in any platform fighter.
No, I got you. Especially consider the fact you both just like bouncing like certain quotes off each other on hand, or drawing something out of hand that you both just remember constantly. As Z2 has basically pointed out to me on hand with like certain roadblocks quotes here and there that you guys have done.
and I still remember and still use the term $500 ass when I play Bowser.
Good lord. I got you on hand. So, my next question I was going to ask you is your hobbies on hand besides the game. Now, we've talked about it a little bit on hand being Team Fortress 2, as well as I put down Guilty Gear, I put down Skullgirls because I remember the conversations you had with Omega. One being just like playing some Guilty Gear, or just because of, I believe it was Omega or you trying to get a fight stick on hand. And then
it was Omega.
It was Omega. And I also remember you just talking constantly about like Skullgirls in general, just to be able to do like some crazy things with it. So.
Oh yeah, but yeah, like outside of that, like like as of like been like it's actually been over a year. Like I've been mostly like delving into like Killer Instinct, and like I've been trying out like other fighters, like outside of just like a platform fighter. Like I mean, as much as I loved Smash and yeah. But it's like I just wanted to divulge from that, work my fingers a bit.
No, I
and
got
for
you.
one, that's not an innuendo.
Yeah, look on the bright side, it's not an innuendo on hand. It's just actually as it is. So, but I know also too, it's just like you've been trying like a little different things here and there, especially in the sense of like do you do anything outside of video gaming in general, like as a hobby or so?
As a like outside of it for like IRL stuff. I'd say archery, and I've also been picking up on blowgunning. Just like I'd like the more primitive stuff of like whether it be hunting or just like getting an excuse to get my ass out of the house.
No, I feel you.
But yeah, like with archery, like I don't know why. There's just something that just feels good going primitive. It's like I mean I love to like I do shoot some guns. And yes, I do some hunting. I may be a furry, but
hey, what can you do?
It's like I'm chaotic neutral to begin with, so
Yeah, no, I got you.
That's all I gotta say about that part.
No, I got you on it.
But, other hobbies. Let's see. Funnily enough, is like I do like to study, cryptozoology for that's something that I used to delve into like a lot in my high school years.
That actually might explain why you have a snake too as a pet. So.
Yes. Funnily enough, years ago, before I started working at the zoo, another hobby by the way. It's like I used to be deathly afraid of snakes, but ever since I started working at the place and been introduced to like one of the smaller snakes, and I think it's just like I've grown from absolutely fearing them to wholly loving them.
Oh.
Now if I could do this same thing with bears.
Bears?
I still don't like bears.
I'm guessing because of like experimenting with zoo.
Disney for that.
Nope. I got you. I was gonna say, I'm guessing for the most part it explains it on I'm guessing. What did you have like a bad encounter with a bear or so, or is it just kind of like
It's Fox and the Hound. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's fair. That's perfectly fair. I've seen Fox and the Hound. That's an old classic one. So.
And even like when I do I study anything that isn't cryptozoology, I do study actual animals whenever I get the chance.
Mm-hmm.
Bears terrify me at at a level of power. It's like oh yeah, it's so friendly and sweet at one moment, but as soon as you do something wrong, they just go on Hulk. That's what scares me about them. It's just the power they can exude.
Yeah, especially with how dangerous they can be.
unexpectedly.
Especially with how dangerous they can
This
be.
is coming from the guy who used to handle tigers.
Damn. Well, that tells you something there as well. Tells you a lot.
And a pro tip with predators is, not just with big cats. Never turn your back on them.
No, I feel you.
I almost made that same mistake 8 years ago. Thankfully, the only thing I had was a ripped shirt, and I knew it could have been way worse.
Well, luckily for me, the only thing I fear in life is spiders, and that's about it. So I don't have to worry about too much of anything else. Like when it comes to like certain animals in general. So small animals. So. Let me ask you this. What was the game that was basically your intro into gaming in general?
I think I'm gonna go basic with this. It was Super Mario World. Like Super Nintendo era. But goddamn, it was good for its time.
I got you.
But the game I think that got me into most multiplayer games, especially, I say would be Monster Hunter Tri. That was back in 2010.
Monster Hunter Tri. Okay. I find it interesting too that it was just like a Monster Hunter game that just kind of started the whole thing for you on hand. Especially where like Monster Hunter for the most part, like it's not like the most difficult game in the world. It's just kind of like tedious in the sense of like learning like certain mechanics on hand when it comes to what you want to do.
Anything past second generation Monster Hunter, some of it is toned down a bit, but good lord, Freedom 2, Freedom Unite, some of the older Monster Hunter games, god fucking damn, they are just. Let me just say this. I've gotten more scars from that game than I have from my own animals. No,
I feel you on hand. It's weird because it's like its own difficulty on hand. Like you have easy, medium, hard, and then you have like this Monster Hunter.
It's just Monster Hunter. This was like Soul and what was that? Dark Souls before Dark Souls was a thing. No shit. This was that's what made I think in my opinion made Dark Souls super popular, or at least interesting, because you're fighting boss characters. And it gradually gets more harder.
No, I got you.
I still need to settle that score with White Fatalis and Freedom Unite. They don't call it FU for a reason outside of just Freedom Unite.
No, I got you. Again, also, I just want to point out the fact, too, especially when it comes from a game like that came all the way from Japan. Japan loves their difficulty on hand. They love to test themselves. Compared to most of us who just want to have a nice time playing a game and not actually just rip our hair completely out. So, you know how it is.
That makes me super glad they didn't introduce America to the Frontier series. If Frontier is already super hard, Frontier just takes it up a notch and just adds more shit.
No, I feel you. I definitely feel you. So, let's talk about the VR chat scene, if I can ask you this. So, in this current state of where we are in VR chat right now, what is your thoughts and opinions about VR chat at this moment?
Can't really say much of that other than, as long as I'm still able to talk to my friends and not get DC'd out of nowhere, I think that's all I'm gonna say about that.
No, that's fair. That's perfectly fair.
I just don't have too much of I don't have too much of an opinion on that. Although I do miss some of the old days I've seen.
No, that's fair. That's fair on hand. I mean, then again, when it comes to old days on hand, at least you can come back and look at different worlds on hand. Like this Emporium here. This 2018 Emporium.
This is 20 fucking 18, yo!
Yeah, 2018 here. As far as the eye can see here. But it's just kind of like it's old, but it has its own memories on hand in this place. So there's that.
Oh boy.
Stands the test of time. Stands the test of time. So, let me talk about the fighting community with you. what was your introduction into the fighting community in general, and what is your thoughts about it, especially from your side on hand, while still, like, easing your way in and also working your way up for what you want to be?
So I guess what kind of got me into like the fighting game community, at least before I started like dipping my toes into it, I guess I did play a bit of like Project M, the brawl mod, which by the way, fuck Nintendo for your cease and desists.
Yep.
Well, damn. Yeah, if like for the fighting game community itself, it's like I guess it depends on like what games you're playing. Like for me, it's like if I'm playing KI, like there's like so many people that just like are willing to teach you like, oh, you link this into that, or whatever, or you do this off of a juggle, or it's like just. And for Smash, it's been kind of a mixed bag for me, like in my honest opinion. It's like I love it, but at the same time I hate it. Mainly because it's like you either have some people that they're actually super chill with it, like super chill, willing to help you learn, or you just have the. Yeah, I'm just gonna be blunt right here. You just have the man children that just can't handle taking an L from like one character. It's like I'm playing League of Legends. Like, oh, as soon as you see one character, rage.
I mean, doesn't help too when there's nothing on the line and you're getting angry over absolutely nothing. Because keep in mind, it's like, because keep in mind, losing in any kind of like match or anything is just part of learning too. Just so you can be able to improve and also learn exactly where you messed up here and there. So, it's strange sometimes with people.
And it's like, even though I say it's a mixed bag, I think most of the times, like, I just get so many salty people just like telling me that, oh, you're cheating, you're using this character, and I'm just here just enjoying the salt on my popcorn and ice cream.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, on hand.
It's like, oh yeah, it's like, I get it. You don't like a certain character. That's fine. There's some certain characters I don't like in other games too. It's like if I have to choose a character I don't like in Smash, but like I'm still gonna like learn how to get past him. It's like, I'd say Samus.
No, I got you.
Killer Instinct. It's like and for Killer Instinct, Omen.
I got you.
All I'm gonna say is, in most fighting games, you basically have like a certain amount of meters, and like a certain bars of meter. Like, oh, in Killer Instinct, you have 2 bars of meter. Yet this character has 3 bars, and he can cancel yours out too. And to top it off, it's like, oh yeah, you have characters that throw out fireballs. He can throw out like 3 or more that go in a random pattern, so he doesn't know. Like, even the guy doesn't know like what kind of projectile he's gonna get. Like,
doesn't know until it just happens. All of a sudden, it's like, well, crap. We at least expect it.
What do I do against this guy? I mean, it's at the same time he's fun to play as, but to go up against.
A little bit of a mixed bag.
People dunk on my rash a lot, but yeah, you know what? More salt for me.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
It's like with one of my members, I always like to pick on with my rash. It's like I'm just pulling on my Toad with my brain dead plays, considering he's in my opinion, he's like a character that has 2 brains, one in his head, one in his ass, and yet his IQ doesn't reach past 2. And it doesn't help that he dropped his brain in a blender just to make a protein shake.
Ah, yes. The greatest way to increase your IQ, just put your brain in a blender. It'll work every single time, apparently. You only do it once. But I will say, too, don't you just ever just mess around in fighting games in general? Like, you're not doing it for the W or the L. You're just mostly just doing it just because you just want to have fun with it. Like, especially just, like, messing with people in the sense of, like, it's humorous, but not, like, in the sense of, like, bullying or anything like that.
Oh, of course. I ain't gonna deny that I do tend to be a bit of a bully, especially with some of the character picks. It's like, oh yeah, with King. It was like I just let's just say he has like a grab set combo. Like, well, not true, not like a true combo, but it's like for anybody that doesn't know how to mash, you're gonna be in a lot of hell with this character.
No, I feel you.
And and sometimes like if I want to be extra mean, I'll like play other characters I don't have typically play as, and I know Z is gonna hate me for this, but because it is clipped on his channel, it's like I was basically playing Wario, and you know the mechanic where he basically has where his waft can be charged, right?
Yeah.
So basically it's on a timer. And if he uses it like when there's like no charge, it basically will trip the opponent. I did it off stage on him, and it basically canceled all of his movement just to go send him straight careening down.
Jesus. Good God.
And I was laughing my ass off. I mean, then again, when am I not into a wheezing fit?
I mean, yeah, especially when it's simple things on hand, like, you know, slamming your penis in an airlock. There you go.
You know, that and like my dick shot to the roof.
Yeah, that. Don't you just hate it? You know, you're just like sleeping and everything, and then out of nowhere, where the hell did this hole come from? Just waking up one morning. Good God. It kind of like rises up like a flag's about to be displayed.
Yeah, and I wake up in the morning and I see the moon is right next to my bed. I'm like, Jesus.
Here we go again. Good God. Where's a wine cork? I need to plug this up. Jesus. But let me ask you this: what is it like?
Paying for that hole.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely wouldn't either. Then again, I'd be wondering why the hell I even made that hole in the first place. But I was gonna ask you this question: what is it like being a streamer on hand? Because I know you're not fairly new, but you're also kind of like on your way towards being like a veteran when it comes to streaming in general. Like you get there when you could get there because you're balancing out life in general and just like everything else just to have like a very consistent stream schedule on hand. But what's it like just to stream and everything for you?
What's it like? You know, I'm not gonna lie. It's just like, even though it didn't show it at first, you know, like I was nervous as shit because, it's like, yeah, I know I'm a very outward-going and, you know, like a bland individual, but I'm also, you know, like it takes me a while to get used to certain things. It's like if you ever knows, like sometimes I'll be like super quiet, like I won't just be like my typical self, like and all that.
I got you.
But yeah, it's like I say I'm enjoying this because, you know, like, oh, I've only kind of started doing this because, like, oh, like I lost my job at the zoo that year. Like that's basically when I started streaming. Like, what was it? Like, March, April? I'm trying to think.
What?
But whatever. But it's like, and it was also around the time when I actually got me a brand new computer. Finally.
There you go. There you go, on hand.
But
Yeah.
And I guess what maybe like I try to do like a variety of stuff. You know, not just like fighting games, but like anything like platformers and shooters. It could be anything really. Because, well, I think most of my inspiration came from JeffyBed. Love you.
Yeah.
Also get numbed.
Yeah, I was gonna say JeffyBed's pretty much, if you think about it, depending on the people we've hung around for the most part, like it's around that time too where basically JeffyBed was hanging around us as well. So, and it's just one of those moments.
Yeah, I actually remembered.
Go ahead.
I actually remembered seeing JeffyBed in 2018. It's like
I have to.
Like when they were starts. I mean, we didn't officially like talk all that much, like. But like, I still remembered like they had like a much more deeper. They had a much more deeper voice with their voice changer and all that. But oh my goodness, it's like they actually seemed like, you know, like when I saw them at the time, you know, like a genuinely good person. And I'm just gonna say this now, they still are. Keep doing you, Jeffy.
No, I got you. I mean, keep in mind too, like most of us, like I originated from a different group before I basically drifted over to basically where everybody else is. But all of us originated from Arnie's group, believe it or not, Arnie VR's group.
Yeah.
And then through that group or so, we did get a chance to know each other, and then we kind of went through our separate ways on, hey, we do bump each other from time to time to be able to catch up and just get a chance to know certain things, even no matter what direction that anybody goes. But it's just a matter of, like, finding time for it, especially when we've got, like, IRL or just our own stream schedules to deal with, just to be able to sit down and just talk. Because...
Yeah.
Also depends on whatever opportunities we have to work with on hand just to be able to get where we gotta go on hand. Like, right now, Jeffy is basically able to socialize and get a chance to know some different people from, like, say, Virtual Market, from YouTube side of things, from everything else. So they're balancing out a lot on their shoulders on hand just to be able to have free time for what they want to do, which I can understand on hand, really, when it comes down to it, especially, you know, when you're trying to find out what you want to work with and just experiment along the way to see where it goes. And if it goes well for you, then, you know, you just kind of keep going with it and see where it leads you next, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure those exact same opportunities will come your way just as much as they'll come my way on hand. It's just a matter of, like, keep working towards that goal and what you want to be, you know?
Exactly.
So, let me ask you this question. What is the of all the things you have, from fighting, you know, being able to, like, sit down and try to, like, practice hours on end for a fighting game, to basically pushing right through, no matter what it is, on hand with streaming, to basically balance IRL and a little bit of everything else in between. What is the motivation that keeps you going?
My sense of humor.
Sense of humor.
So, yeah, basically, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's gonna be news, like, when I say this, but I have had a rough life. I mean, like, outside of, like dealing with this shit from other people and, readjusting my own life. I'm not gonna delve too far into that, but hey.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that kept me going is just like, I realized that, hey, who the fuck is perfect? Nobody's perfect, and you know what? And you either mope about it or you laugh about it, and I think I prefer the latter option. Just laugh my fucking ass off.
I gotcha. The chaotic neutral side, if you will.
Yeah, chaotic neutral. Yeah, exactly. It's good. And plus, what's the point of it? Just like, I just don't like the idea of just like sulking in like on my own misery. Like, sure, I'll have my moments where I just want to sit down and just relax and just cry out to the sky and just be like, yo, that's not very PogChamp, dude.
Good God. Somewhere in the world right now, I just hear Omega saying, it's not very Bible thump either. I hear it somewhere. Somewhere in the world here. Maybe in chat. We'll see. But yeah, just having a sense of humor to keep going on. It's very Spider-Man-like, if I can say. Or as I kind of dubbed it, Peter Parker effect, where basically, no matter how tough things get, you kind of laugh at it and basically just make humor out of it just to push yourself past that, point.
Spider-Man be my idol.
It'd be everybody's idol, because everybody can relate to somebody who just wants to, have a life of their own, but at the same time, they're carrying a responsibility of the world on their shoulders.
I mean, I can't shoot webs like him, but okay, I'm not gonna do
Well, yeah, you might not want to finish that on him. Nor can you swing off of that, just saying.
Yeah, just give me like 5 minutes.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough on him. Good God. Good Lord, bud. But, let me ask about the VR chat current. Now, originally, I mentioned about the VR chat scene as we are in during this time. But with the VR chat current present, let's compare the present we have to the past at the moment a little bit. From your first day starting to where we are now, what are some of the things you're glad that has changed over the course of time to where it leads to VR chat right now, compared to some of the things you wish have not changed over the course of that time that you wish were still here today?
Can't really say much other than seeing some of the friends of the old group, but that's but like some changes, like, oh yeah, like better optimization. Thank the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And like you know, being able to manage it like who I can block or like what avatars. Because back at the time, like I did not have a strong computer, so I had to like limit how many like how many models I could see. It's like I was like. I would just like my computer would just shit itself anytime I just look at like a character like yours and just be like, poop.
No, I got you. Especially when depending on where you are, like where you're living or so, depends on how good your internet is. Especially like in a game like this where it requires like if you have a good internet on hand, you don't have to worry about like loading too many worlds. But if you have like a say 2.14 megabytes of upload speed on hand, you pretty much got one of those things where depending on what you as a map creator or avatar creator, you got a long time to wait a little bit on hand for what you're uploading, or depending on what your download speed is. But
and to make it even and to piss me off even more, like I couldn't even upload my own fucking avatars to this game, like on my old computer, because for some reason I could click on the like, oh yeah, upload avatar, but it would not click on that. Like
that's odd.
I needed a new computer back then. And, like I hated my computer and it hated me.
No.
Again, I've never been a like a techno geek myself. Like I'm basically about as tech savvy as a caveman humping a toaster in a bathtub.
Yeah, that's fair. Damn, that's a hell of an analogy. But that's fair. That's fair. I'm not tech savvy either. I just work with what I can, but I just experiment with what I can do. But when it comes to like hardware, so don't count on these hands to be able to like install like a GPU in or something, or like a graphics card, because it's.
Same.
I don't have delicate hands, as I'm looking at my, very hard, rough hands in general, so. Oh, God. But, let me ask you this, if you don't mind. Is there anything you're looking forward towards in the future that you got planned, or anything in general that you're gonna be working towards here and there?
I guess, I do plan on I try to be a bit more of a competitive and a bit more of a serious, fighting, like a fighting game player, like an FGC dude. Well, about as serious as I can be. I mean, I'm still gonna be my goofy ass self. I don't think that's gonna change at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like anything from like KIs, Girls, and
I got you.
yeah, like a maybe Slap City and some Nick All-Star Brawl. I mean, it depends on how Nick's future goes for it, but we'll see.
What about
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what about multiverse?
Yeah, multiverses? Oh, you bet your ass I'm gonna pick it up. Ultra Instinct Shaggy all the way.
I can just already imagine on hand. It's like everybody's nothing but Shaggies, just fighting one another on hand.
It's just, I think I'm making it in my head canon that, Ultra Instinct Shaggy just powered up just so he could beat the ever-living hell out of Superman and give 1% of his power to Bugs Bunny.
Good lord. I don't know why. I'm just imagining on hand. Like the image in my own head is just imagine basically Shaggy slapping Batman with a sandwich or something. Now that I picture it.
Yes. Yes. And I love the fact that Warner Brothers is just they're hyping this up and they're just keeping that meme alive. Like they actually enjoyed that from the fans. Like that's something I can appreciate. And that's something that I like from games from Killer Instinct, from Skull Girls, from Slap City and Nick All-Star Brawl. Because these are games made by people who actually fucking care, compared to Smash.
Well,
I mean, it's not to say that the content creators they hate this, but it's like, do we need to delve into that Nintendo shit? Probably not.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is for the most part. It's just understand when it comes to Smash or so, people always see it as the norm for the most part. Even though there's been many different games out there that have came before Smash on hand, so. But it is what it is. I mean, hell, if you think about it on hand too, like Street Fighter or Actually, yeah, Street Fighter would be considered like the original Smash too. If you think about it in the sense of like 1v1 versus 1.
Yeah.
So it all resonates from that.
It's just you versus Guile.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always been like the game for me. It's like me as Ryu and the opponent as Guile. Like, are they spamming me out with the same Sonic Boom, just kicking my nuts with a flash kick?
Crouch in the corner.
I need to get past that.
Yeah. So, now let me ask you the curveball question, and I've asked a few people in the past about this, and it's usually the curveball question because everybody's got a different answer to this. So, let's talk about anime. Talk about anime on hand. There's a 3-part question in this, so let's start with the first one. When I say the word anime, what's the first anime series that comes to your mind?
Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann. That's usually a classic. Usually a classic.
It's a good-ass classic.
It is. It is, especially just like... It's one of those... Okay, Gurren Lagann is one of those animes where you don't apply logic to anything. You just watch it just to watch it. And then you have a fun-filled time on hand, because as long as you have a low expectation with anime, it's usually an amazing time with it. So...
Oh, yeah. Like, I love it. I love watching it when I turn my brain off, and I do actually like looking into the deeper meaning of that show. Like, the very first episode is basically Plato's allegory of the cave. And funny thing is, I don't even look at philosophy, and I know what that is.
No, I got you. I got you on hand. So, my second question to this topic is, if you had a top 3, top 5 of any anime series or anime movies, they don't have to be in any order, what would that be?
Okay, yeah, like, obviously Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Let's see. And yeah, I'm gonna be basic with,
No, you're fine.
like, big old shonen, One Piece.
I got you.
And I don't know if anybody has heard of this one, Soul Eater.
I know 2 people who've heard of Soul Eater. 2 of them look.
Yes!
2 of them.
Yes!
2 of them. Oh, you love Soul Eater too?
Yeah, I love Soul Eater. It's like what I think officially got me more into anime back in the day. Like, I don't watch anime as much as I used to now, but like Soul Eater, Gurren Lagann, that was like my biggest go-tos at the time.
Well, I was gonna say, I know Z2 loves Soul Eater on hand. I can just tell you for the most part, since you love Soul Eater and Z2 loves Soul Eater, you're gonna basically be Chaotic's best of friends on hand, because Soul Eater is his favorite anime. So, like, yeah, I could just feel it on hand. Jeez, for it. But also, before I forget or so, and before we go to the next question, can I ask you this question with One Piece? Are we sure that the One Piece treasure is just not the bonds and friendship we made along the way? And how pissed off would you be if that was the case? I'm banking on that's what it is. I'm just saying. Ah! Shit! Okay, well, bye. Okay, welcome back. Okay. Well, I'm gonna assume on hand that's not the case.
I think I got all I need out of the way on that question.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure that would be the reaction of every single One Piece fan if that was the case, really, because I'm banking on that's probably what it is. Like, all these 1,000 episodes on hand just leads to that one moment, and that's it. That's what I'm assuming. That's all I'm assuming. But, my final question to that topic is, what is the anime that hit you close to home when you watched it? Like, when you watched it on hand, you had an emotional and personal feeling from it. Like, it relates to you.
Again, I'm gonna say Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann.
And, so it's like this. It's like this show just hits so many people at the right level. Because, well, at the time I watched it, well, so you already know how the show goes, right?
I already know how it goes.
Like, it's like, oh yeah, episode 8. We already know about that. Let's just say, at the time, it's like I was also in a family member at the time, and they met meant a lot to me, and they probably helped me work out my sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And around that time when that episode aired, I lost my relative there to leukemia. Oh.
I got you.
It definitely hit me at an emotional level. I mean, I'm fine now. It's been years, but
it still feels it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And especially just with like Simone just not taking it so well for the last couple and next few episodes. And then all of us, and then like at some point, he gets past that. That's what I love about the anime. It's just like it's about like self-reflections. Like, oh yeah, you just lost someone super important. How are you gonna live through that? And honestly, I don't think the show would have been as great if they didn't have Kamina just getting.
No, I feel you. I feel you on hand. And trust me when I say, when it comes to like any personal death of anything on hand, for the most part, everybody's got a different way of comforting themselves from it, especially for whoever it is and how personal it was. For the most part, everybody's a little bit different on hand, but we all know for the fact that hey, as long as we still go, we keep carrying the memories on. So that's the thing. That's the thing.
And another one to add to that part, and like another scene, as from like the last anime I've ever seen. Outside of Monster Musume, but we don't talk about that. It was One Punch Man. It's the one with Moon Rider. Yeah, the Moon Rider against Deep Sea King. For me, it's just like I just saw a bit of myself. It's like, especially when I'm like playing like some of the fighting games I play,
yeah,
whether it be KI, Smash, Skull, whatever. It's like, like I'm clearly not good at the games I play, but I'm willing to try to get better at this. But it's like, oh yeah, I'll have it. And occasional someone's like, oh, you're not good at the game, get up, scrub. But
you kept going.
Who the fuck told you I need to stop playing this shit? Get the fuck up your high horse and go back to your donkey bakaras. While I'm getting my ass handed over by this fucking Ryu.
Can I tell you this one secret on hand? And I'm pretty sure you can take it in as much as everybody else can take it in. Every time you keep getting up, for the most part, you keep bouncing and basically keep going forward for the most part. But for the person who keeps kicking you down, the moment you kick them down, they can't recover from it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing.
It's a good thing I have a thick ass that makes it easier for me to bounce back up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go on hand. Well, and plus, it's one of those things, aren't too, for the most part, like, especially when you mention the rider on hand, like, it represents a little bit of everybody in the sense of basically, no matter, the bigger the challenge on hand, the more you're willing to basically push yourself to that point. Even if the world thinks you can't do it, you're willing to push yourself forward, proving that you can do it on hand, no matter how long it takes. Like,
yeah, and I still need to settle my score with White Fatalis, but that's for another time.
It'll be for another time on hand.
In the future?
Yep, definitely in the future on hand. But as long as you basically keep picking yourself back up, no matter how many times you get kicked back down, you basically are proving the point on hand that no matter how long it takes, you are not willing to give it up. You know? Willing to give it up. So, but
yeah, you can call me a dumbass, loud ass son of a bitch all you want. You can even call me poopy. I don't get two shits in a monkey's tit. I'm still gonna get back up, and I'm gonna go up and try to kick their ass again, even if it takes me 69 million tries to do so.
I got that word. That number. Again, curse number. Again, I'm just saying this, no matter how many times people say... Yeah, no matter how many times says it's a blessed number, I see that more times than anything else in the world on hand. Be it when I get done streaming, when I'm basically editing, when I'm doing all this. I see that number everywhere, and I don't know if it's blessed or not, because I don't... It's one of those moments where you have no idea if you get blessed. But,
So basically Among Us.
Yeah, pretty much like that. It's kind of like that. It's my Among Us moment, if you will. I see it everywhere. But,
By the way, I fucking hate Among Us. You're not gonna catch me playing it.
No, I got you.
Like playing with Jeffy stream. But
No, I get you.
I digress.
No, I get you. No, you're fine. You're all good. You're all good on hand. So, this gets me down to my last question. I'm going to grab this camera, and I'm going to bring it over here for you, because I'm going to have you be center stage here for this. And let me get you lined up. There we go. So, my question on hand... Let me get this lined up here. But my question on hand for the most part... No, my question on hand for the most part is, what are your goals and dreams? And at best, what is the best advice you can ever give to anybody? I'm going to let you have center stage for this. So.
My goals? Well, just be part of the, like, a member of the FGC community, you know, like, I don't have to be, you know, like, best around, or just, like, top player in, like, this division, or this region, or whatever game, blah, 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 that. And, you know, I'm still gonna keep on streaming it. No matter how many times I'm gonna get my ass flat. And then again, that's part of the fun for ways. And heck, if you're actually wanting to try something, like, if you want to try something like competitive in any way, shape, or form, don't be afraid to ask people in these, you know, in any communities. Like, sure, you're gonna have some people that are gonna be, you know, like, they're just gonna, you know, dog on you. I mean, it's like, even some of the best communities have these kinds of people. Like, as much as I love KI, there has been, like, a couple of few people it's like, while they're not known, it's like, dude, why are you here? It's like, you're making hey, makes sense. Like, I'm surprised I haven't seen your ass in scrub quotes or whatnot. But yeah. Anyways, don't be afraid to ask people, like, on how to help you improve. And this has been, like, the hardest thing for me to do, because I hate asking for help. But that's the thing. Like, sometimes you have no idea where to go. Sometimes you can go to guides. You can go to people who have a lot more experience in these said games, and just keep on trucking. And it's like, sure, and it's like, and if you have, like, it's like, even if it's like areas that you seem to lack in gameplay wise, just don't give up. Just don't give up. No matter what anybody says, because the only thing that's stopping you from getting anywhere, it's not from the shit talkers, it's not from, you know, like, any sort of troll. It's you that stops you from progressing. And that's my 2 cents on that.
I got you. Sound advice. Real sound advice on hand. So, like, really, really good sound advice for the most part, especially with the fact that, you know, when it comes down to progression or anything, like, only you can make that happen, really, when it comes down to it. So, only you. And key thing, too, and I want to point it out as well, is the fact that when it comes down to it on hand, especially for anything you work for or so, just keep at it, really. Like you said, just keep at it. It'll take a lot of time, you know? And usually time is, like, the greatest challenge in anybody else's life. Same thing with a certain word called patience. But as long as you're able to stay to it, you got it. That's how you do things. But before we go...
Yeah, I'm just gonna also say this. It don't matter, like, what you say, what goes on. Like, I'm just gonna say this. If you have, like, somebody in your community that's just... Or, like, in your chat, just, like, dogging on you for whatever, you know. And here's the thing, don't let these people bring you down, and also don't let the ideas like, oh yeah, you're a streamer, YouTuber, artist, like, you should be dealing with this, you should ignore it. Sometimes you gotta speak up about this shit. Don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like, I've had a couple of moments like last year had someone in my chat would be like, ew, it's like, why is the quality so low, and why aren't you streaming more popular games? And that was one of the few times I genuinely snapped. It's like, like on stream. It's like I don't have it like archived anywhere, but mainly because I don't think anybody would really want to see that. It's not like I don't want people to see that of me. It's like, but here's the thing, just do you, and don't let what anybody else tell you is like, you should be playing more popular games. Whatever the fuck that means.
No, I got you. You just play the games you love to do. That's the thing. What you enjoy is more important. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, oh yeah, it's like I'm just playing Shovel Knight. You're telling me Shovel Knight is not popular? Fuck off.
No, I got you. I got you on hand. So before we call the interview, I'm gonna ask chat on hand. Does anybody have any questions for Manik here? Any questions on it? And also Omega? Yeah, you can hop on VRC if you want to. Feel free to. Yeah. Would you want us to be? I was gonna say, because I know for a fact you both have never met each other face to face in VRC, so it'd probably be a good time for you.
I don't think we have not. No, yes.
Do you have time to spare a little bit for Omega to join us?
Oh hell yeah! Why not?
Okay. So, does anybody have any other questions for Omega? Not Omega. Any questions for Manik? Damn, I switched that on hand badly. My bad. Does anybody have any questions for Manik here? While you guys are coming up with questions, I do have a question for you, Manik, and that question is this. Your name, ManikHyena, where did it come from?
Oh, where did that come from? Well, I think that started when I started playing like Minecraft all those years ago. You know, back when it was like, you know, like it was just brand new, fresh, and I went as the maniacal hyena, and I thought that did not roll off the tongue, so I just decided to shorten it to Manik with a K. You know, Mortal Kombat style. I don't even play Mortal Kombat, but that might be something else for the future, but I digress.
I got you.
But, and of course, I mean, well, I went with ManikHy for a while, for like a few good years, and then all of a sudden it's just like, yeah, you know what, ManikHyena just sounds a little bit more better. But hey, and you know, that shit stuck.
Yeah, there you go. There you go on hand. So, because, as I'm looking here really quickly to see if there's any other questions. I do have one more I was going to ask you, and that's basically that being, is there any, it's a video game question, is there any kind of genre you would never touch because it's not your kind of thing that you would play?
MMOs.
MMOs?
And RTS games. Like, you gotta remember, I'm a blunt, straightforward individual, because like, if I have to do something on a cooldown, it's like.
Plus, it's like too much things to pay attention to.
Why. It's like pay attention to, like, oh yeah, it's on a cooldown. It's like, oh, I could do it. Like, I can do a cool hacky slash move, but I have to wait like 10 seconds to. Oh, bitch, I want to do it now. I want to go unga bunga.
Unga bunga. Where's my smash? But, I mean, no, I relate to it on hand. Like, when it comes to, like, I think it's mostly because, like, OCD thing, where basically, if it's, like, real time or so, I have a hard time basically, if there's no pause button where I can't just basically process what I gotta do next here and there or so, it makes it a little bit hard for me to be able to know what I got playing out here and there tactics-wise and everything on hand. So it's just kind of like, too many things, too much input, you know? As it is.
Exactly. It's like I just love me some like raw action. It's just that, just pure instant violence.
Also, with MMOs, if I can ask this question, I'm guessing it's because it's like too much grinding for the most part, or just kind of like too much like it takes long.
Like for me, it's like it takes long and just like, oh, I have to map out certain buttons for that. Like, bro, no. It's like I just want to do one clicky, two clicky, you know, have a few buttons. That's it.
I got you on hand. I got you. Especially, you know, like when you just want to get right to the action of things, which is pretty much, I believe that's what fighting games are for you for the most part. It gets down to the action and just basically tweak as you go along with it. I get you.
Exactly. It makes me even question if I should pick up Grand Blue Fantasy, because it's a fighting game that uses cooldowns. But it's like, oh yeah, if you do the motion input, it's like the cooldown is like not super long. But if you're doing it's like a little bit more simplified, it takes a bit more longer. But it's more of the preference. But
I got you.
You already know what option I'm picking.
No, I got you. Speaking of that, since you mentioned Grand Blue and everything, so it's ArcWorks. You ever thought about looking at Project L? Then again, I don't think you're a League of Legends kind of.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I didn't think you would be a League of Legends.
League of Legends, and I don't play League of Legends because
it is what it is.
As much as it's like I am not a big fan of it's like I'm also not a big fan of League type games. It's not just for the toxic community. I mean, I think that's been talked about a billion times over. But it's just like, oh yeah, I have to choose a character. It's like, oh yeah, it's like the same thing with Smash. It's like, oh you choose one character, people are gonna have a fucking fit. I know people already have a fit over my King K rule, but that's another story for another time.
I got you. I do have.
I mean, it doesn't help. It doesn't help that I'm also kind of a bully with him.
No, I got you. I do have one more question, and then we'll call it right here. But I was gonna ask this question: with Monster Hunter Rise coming to the PC, are you planning on getting it for the PC?
Yeah, since I have it both for the Switch and for PC, why the hell not?
That means when we get a chance or so, especially if we ever want to do something on Fridays, we got Monster Hunter Rise to do with each other on Fridays. So there you go. There's an idea for the future.
I like that.
Yeah. There's an idea, because I know for a fact MT's getting it. I know for a fact Omega is getting it. And I'm planning on getting it in the future once it comes out, because when it comes down to it, at least I can get a stable connection doing it for the PC better than I could for the Switch, just because I'm on Wi-Fi with my Switch. It's hard for me to connect without a direct Ethernet connection to it. So PC I can at least do easily without any issues. So, but I'll be down for it. I'd definitely be down for it, especially for some of the craziness we can do. But I don't see any questions I have left on hand for you for the most part. So I will say this overall sake. That will be episode 70 of Shoot the Breeze.